Well, it's getting to be that time of year, the end of summer, going into fall, where, at least where I live on a farm, we get lots of flies. And I thought a fly swatter for the dollhouse might be a kind of fun project because it's little details like this that make the dollhouse more homey and more realistic looking. So stay tuned and see how simple and easy this project is to make. Alright, so our fly swatter is going to be bright pink because I felt that would be a good color to use so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got bright pink cardstock here. So I'm going to fold down a little bit on the end because we are going to work on the folded edge. Now if your cardstock has a right and a wrong side, if for some reason you're using a design, the outside here is actually the back side when we get done. So the right side, if it had a design, would be here. Now from this line, I want to go back 3/16 of an inch, which on my ruler there's not actually a 3/16 of an inch. I just have to kind of guess where it would be. So it would be between the 1/8 and the 1/4 inch. And hopefully I'm getting this straight. Now I'm going to move down about 1/16 of an inch to the 1/8 inch line, and I'm going to draw another line. Now I'm going to use the cut edge for one side. I'm going to go a 1/2 inch in, and then just a little bit like that. And we're just making these lines. This one I'm going to go up a full 1/8 of an inch because this will be my bottom. Now, 1/2 inch in. And try and be consistent on your lines. Now, draw this line again. And then this one. Now, really tiny, really fine pointed scissors. I'm using my little curved manicure scissors. I don't really need the curve today, but I need something that will really reach in. And we're going to cut out the inside of this area. Hopefully this will all make sense once I get it all cut apart and you can see what we're doing. I'm trying my best to stay under the camera. Get this out. Come on. Guys, want to get that out. And then we're going to come up. I find I can be more accurate by taking this out in little pieces than I can trying to cut out the whole thing at once. Let's try this again. We'll go down here and we'll do this one now. And it's much easier to do all this cutting before we cut out the piece from our large piece of cardstock. And you can see this takes a very small amount of cardstock. This is all like little scraps of stuff. But it's these little details, like a fly swatter, that really makes a dollhouse look cool because it makes it look more realistic. Now, cutting it that's the 1/2 inch from the end, and now that outside line, that 1/16 of an inch from the fold. 1/2 inch in. Now, if I did that right, we'll have 2 rectangles. Now, I am going to just cut my ends off. I'm going to eyeball this, and I'm going to hopefully eyeball it the same on both pieces. Now, we have 2 pieces that are hopefully pretty close to the same size and shape that will be our fly swatter. One of these 2, and excuse my son, he's laughing in the next room, we are going to take some glue, and this is a fast drying glue, so it's a very thin glue. And now I have a little piece of pink tulle. I'm going to line this up so that this comes down in there. Press this down. This isn't going to want to stick, but I just needed to hold on until I can get the next few steps done. I'm going to set that aside. So I'm even going to put a, no, I'm not going to do that yet. Now we're going to work on a handle. So I have some 24 gauge wire. Cutters here. Cut yourself off a pretty good chunk because it's easier to work with when it's in a larger chunk. Fold it in half. And take a jumbo craft stick. Pull it up really close and twist. And what we want is we want about 1.5 inches total. And it's okay if it's not a perfect handle, because I know my fly swatter in the kitchen, the handle gets all bent up. It's all bent up all the time. Cut off the excess. And now if you place this really well, where it doesn't come past that edge there, you can do it this way. Now, make sure this is going to fit. Yes, that will fit in there. A little bit of super glue. Just down here in this pointy area. And set your handle right in the super glue drop, hopefully centered fairly well. Now, as soon as I figure out where, there it is, where this ran off to, I'm going to coat this in more glue. It's okay if it's a little messy, because really what we are doing, we're gluing the paper together, and the super glue will hold the this part. It'll hold the metal to the paper. Our pencil lines all go in the middle, and line it up as best you can. It's not going to be perfect. That's okay. Hopefully no one's going to look at this really super closely. Poke it down, and I like to use my knitting needle. Kind of poke this down. Get this really embedded as best you can. We can do some trimming once it's dry. And now this glue needs to sit and dry. So I'm going to give this a couple hours to dry, and then I'll come back. Alright, this is now, the glue is not completely dry, but it's dry enough that we can cut away our extra tulle. Now I like tulle because it's the right weight for this, and it comes in, I looked it up, it's like under $5 for a roll The rolls are 6 inches wide by about 25 yards, and they have around 30 colors at Joann Fabrics. So really inexpensive and lots of variety of color. You can use any color you want. So let's trim this up and then set it aside to dry the rest of the way. And whoopsie, I'm dropping it. I'm trying to be really careful because the glue is not completely dry. And I let my wire stick out a little bit here, so I need to be careful. I'll have to cut that off a little bit. There. And we've got a little trimming to do here. Just get it neatened up. There. So there we go. The dolls can go use a Flyswatter in the house. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. Be sure and check the blog post for more details. I'll give the cutting dimensions and such. If you haven't found the Facebook page, I invite you to come like it and join in the conversation. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.